Welcome, everybody, to Saves Together. Normally, this is a podcast about co-op games, playing games together in all sorts of different ways. But today, it's kind of a trial run, kind of a test run. So it's episode 0, because we already have an episode 1.
I thought we were going to be 0.5.
What do you like better?
I don't know. I guess they'll find out.
Well, I think it should be 0, and
Okay.
I'm Craig McGowan.
Well, it could be 0.5. Isn't that still kind of 0?
And that, who wants it to be 0.5.
I'm Grace Novak.
Well, why do people care what we have to say?
I don't really know. I don't think they do, but I care about what I have to say, and I care about what you have to say, and that's the whole point of this podcast, really.
That's the ultimate co-op experience.
Yeah, caring what each other has to say and play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode is going to be kind of like just
An
a rundown.
introduction?
And well, I guess it will start as an introduction of who we are and why we're doing this, and then it's just going to be a rundown of the games we played and what we liked in 2017. And some of the games, at least for you, I can't remember what my list says. I'll look at it in a minute. Aren't going to actually be 2017 games, right?
That's right.
It's just the stuff that you played.
Yeah, because a lot of the games, especially me, I end up playing aren't really from this year. This year I actually did play quite a few games that came out this year, but a lot of games I play are, from a backlog or games that I'm revisiting, so I can talk about those as well.
One reason some of our games might be older games, because we don't work in games. We work in the film industry.
That's right. I'm a video editor, but I've been playing games since I was very young. I still remember being 6, and my brother, 2 years younger than me, he was 4. He got a Game Boy for Christmas.
Wait, he got one before you?
That's right. He got one before me, and I was really pissed because we had the SNES at home. My dad would play on it, and we would watch and be like, yo.
And you weren't allowed to play it.
It's not that I wasn't allowed to play. It just felt kind of like something I couldn't understand. And the Game Boy at that time was like being marketed to kids, where the SNES felt like something grown up to me because my dad played on it. So my brother got a Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, and man, I was so jealous. And I finally got a Game Boy Advance, which is, the second one of those, third one, I guess.
When
I was a little bit older. I forget what birthday.
So did you at least get to play the Game Boy?
I don't remember. I don't know if I did. I don't even know what games he had. I know he had Pokemon Red, and I got Pokemon Silver once I got my Game Boy Advance.
Like you went and got way later.
That wasn't that much later.
It had to be.
Well, it was.
Like a couple years, 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's all just a blur to me. Anyway, yeah, I've been playing games for a long time, so I have plenty of experience with games.
What are some of your favorites? What's like maybe like a genre or style to describe what kind of stuff you're into?
I play a lot of JRPGs. I play
JRPGs?
Yeah, and just RPGs. I like action adventure games. Not really into shooters or sports games. Don't really play a lot of those. I had a career for a bit in the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare game on the PC.
A career?
I made quite a name for myself. I had a clan. I was in a clan.
In Modern Warfare?
Yeah, correct.
So you were in a clan?
I was in a clan. Born to Kill. BTK for life.
Wow, I didn't know this. This is impressive.
I definitely told you this before.
Well, I don't remember this.
Oh, really?
Is that what the BTK tattoo you have on your back means?
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Got it right on my lower back. BTK. With wings coming out.
But they're gun wings.
Yeah, wings that are holding guns.
And there's a skull.
No
There's
skull.
like 3 skulls.
That's a lie.
Oh.
What about you? What kind of games do you like?
Well,
What's your career in gaming? What's it been like?
Oh boy. We had a computer, my family, pretty early on. And when we bought, it was a compact Presario. I want to say we got it in like 98. So I guess that's not super early. We had a computer before that, and I would play like games online, Flash games. Sports Illustrated for kids. I played a lot of those. I didn't really like sports, but that's just all I knew because I didn't know how the internet worked. I was 8.
Oh yeah, I used to play.
I was like 7.
I used to play like those smart kids games on Brain. Well, you remember that website, Brain something?
By the time you were playing smart kid games, I was moved on.
Yeah, he's older than me.
So in 98, we got a compact Presario, and it came with a bundled software, actual discs. And I remember sorting through the discs, and one of them said Moto Racer.
Yo.
And I was so hyped, and I installed Moto Racer, and I played a fuckload of Moto Racer. Then I convinced my parents at the age of 8 to buy me Quake 2, which was probably a bad idea on their part. I love you guys, but don't get an 8-year-old an M-rated violent shooting game with sexy titty maidens. And it was, looking back on it, like, graphics nowadays are way more crazy, so it's a bigger deal, but still, it's like kind of funny what I was doing as an 8-year-old. In like 2001, I got a Dreamcast, and that was the first console I had by myself. Obviously, I had been playing games with all my friends who had consoles, but my parents never bought me one. I had to like save money,
How much was the Dreamcast at that time when you bought it?
like $50.
Not bad.
Yeah, and it came in a plastic bag, like a thank you bag.
What do you mean?
I got
from
it
where?
used at like a local place in the
Oh,
mall,
right.
and it just came in a. It was gross, and it came with the wrong cable. It came with like an RF cable, not the composite cables. I had to take it back
Uh-huh.
and explain to them I need the the red, yellow, blue, or green, or whatever. Fuck, red, white, yellow.
Good story. Good
No,
story.
in genres I like RPGs as well. I don't play nearly as many JRPGs as you do,
Yeah.
but I like them.
They're fun.
Um,
You like sports games too, don't
I
forget.
do not like sports games.
Extreme
I
sports games. That's
Let
what I
me
meant.
say it.
Okay, sorry.
I like
got
extreme
excited.
sports video games. Tony Hawk's in 1999 formulated the youth that
This is gonna become a history lesson for extreme sports video games because that could be
could
a
do
whole
that.
nother podcast.
I could do that. Do you want to do that?
No. I'm
In
good.
1999, there was a Pizza
No.
Hut demo disc. It came with Warehouse, and you each took 2-minute runs. Okay, but yeah, I really like extreme sports games. I don't care at all about sports games, Madden,
Right.
NHL, FIFA. I'm not gonna like. I mean, I would play those if someone wanted to play those. I'll play them. I'll play absolutely anything once, and then I'll go. Okay, I don't like that. That was my experience with like Dota. I played it for a little bit, and I said nope. Can't do it. I like games that give you an experience usually. Like
Most games you could argue
Well,
give you an experience.
I like to explore
Right.
on my own terms.
Okay.
I don't like super competitive stuff, hence a co-op podcast and not a competitive podcast. I like working together and making plans and talking about like this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. But like I don't take things too seriously, I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah. As far as my cooperative gaming experience, I
Yeah.
grew up with a little brother,
And
as I've said.
did you guys play games together a
Oh, we
lot?
played many a game together. Usually the cooperative ones we had
Like what?
trouble
Like what?
eventually.
Do you have
like
a-
Mario? I think I'm remembering right now because I think one of the latest ones we had played before we both moved out, where it was Mario 3D World, 3D Land on the Wii U, and that was a lot of fun. But with siblings, it eventually deteriorates for whatever reason, and you just end up fighting about it and turning the game off in fury. So that's how that was. But no, I also played cooperative games with my friends. I remember being very fond of the Sims games on console. Sims 3 on the GameCube or Sims 2. Was it Sims 2 or 3?
I don't know. Was there a
It
full-blown
was Sims
Sim?
3. It was Sims 3
So I
on
didn't-
GameCube.
I didn't
and it was
have
great.
So just another history note between us two. I didn't have any Nintendo. I had a Game Boy Color.
Uh-huh.
But like I played Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, Pokemon, and Metroid 2 from Game Boy. That's
Right.
like all I played. That's the only Nintendo thing I have until literally I got a Wii late, and I played some of that, and then I got a Switch. Like this is my first foyer into. Is that foyer? Foyer? Does that make sense?
Foyer,
Like I know a foyer is the front hall type thing,
I thought that was yeah.
but is it your first foyer into?
I don't know.
Is that it makes sense? I
that doesn't
think.
sound right to me.
Well, that you guys know what I mean. But so Nintendo, and then not Nintendo-y stuff.
kind of,
but
but like I
not
said, I
that
had
you
a
only-
PS1, so I played Sony
Right.
games too. But
Right.
yeah, it was definitely mostly Nintendo games.
You're
I love
basically-
Mario and Zelda,
If you stick around
but
and
yeah.
listen to multiple episodes of this, you're gonna hear Craig be confused about things most Nintendo people probably know. Like, what the hell is a Yoshi?
He's a dinosaur. He's Mario's best friend.
Is he really?
I don't know. Who knows what a Yoshi is? Honestly, I assume it's a dinosaur.
So I think that's enough about us. What do you say we get into this? Let's talk about 2017, a year in our gaming.
Sounds good.
Pause for effect.
Well, I was pausing for in case music.
There's not gonna be music.
Okay, then I'll just cut that out.
No, we'll leave it on.
Okay.
No, there's no editing.
There's no
rules.
editing in this. This is raw.
No rules. Do you want to start? I have a long list that
I don't have
I
a long
literally
list.
wrote down everything I played, and I'm gonna try
Oh.
to cut as I say, or I guess I'll say it and we won't talk about
I'm
it.
just gonna talk about gaming things that I remember this year because that's what stuck with me.
Is yours ordered? Is yours stack
No,
ranked?
I got nothing in order. I'm just pulling right out the big old brain of mine.
Okay.
I mean, I have a list of games that I played just to remember because I forget. But I think what's important to me is games that I remember I can just pull up means like it stuck with me. So that's kind of how I'm ordering them.
Here's something I'm noticing. You say that, and I'm noticing looking at my list, I completely forgot a big one. I'll get to it.
Which one? I want to know.
PUBG, not even on my list. And that's possibly one of my favorites.
That's funny, but I feel like it's kind of a different kind of experience.
Right,
Maybe
exactly.
that's why you forgot.
All these ones I wrote down, I played by
Single
myself
player
pretty
game.
much, or with you.
Right.
Not like, yeah.
So I think one big one, probably my favorite of the year, just going to start off with that, was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
The Switch in general, awesome.
The Switch this year was great. That was like one of the best things about this year. I love my Switch. I got a case for it. We got screen protectors. I'm all about it. I want to take it with me everywhere. It's awesome having something that you can dock and take with you. And the dock is portable enough that I could take it home or, where I'm from for the holidays, which I did this time. And it's great. We got Jackbox Party Pack on it this year as well. They were on sale, and we played it with my family, and that was really fun. So it's just an all-around great system. And yeah, so Breath of the Wild was like the big reason I wanted the Switch, but I was gonna get it anyway, let's be real. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I've been playing Zelda games. Like I said, the first game I ever understood or knew of was, I didn't say this, but it was Zelda Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda Link to the Past on the SNES. That's the one my dad played through and beat.
Okay.
So me and my brother would sit there and watch.
You watched him play.
We watched. We did not play. We were like, "Whoa, this is crazy." We were so into it.
Is that on the SNES Classic?
It is. I
Do
think
you think
so.
he would want a SNES Classic?
No, my dad's got other issues.
He's out.
I think he's out of the gaming world now. He enjoyed playing Jackbox Party Pack with us, but beyond that, he likes movies. Anyway, so yeah, I love Zelda games, and this Zelda game was honestly for me like one of the most perfect Zelda games there ever has been. They did so many new things that really expanded on exploring and just collecting as Link. There was so much to do and see, and they took out any kind of sign of, being a linear story. You could do what you want when you wanted. You could just beat the game in 20 minutes. Probably not 20 minutes.
What do you think? What do you think it's up to right now?
I don't know. AGDQ is soon, and I'm sure, I don't know if it's on the list, but I bet you it is.
I mean, I remember the issue was just the little bit I looked
beginning.
up, getting off that plateau,
Right.
And I think I remember seeing someone figure out a way off.
I thought someone did. We should look that up. We will look that up later, because it's interesting to me. Anyway, so yeah, that was probably my favorite gaming experience of the year, for sure.
Breath of the Wild was actually first on my list, too, but mine's not really organized. It's just funny that's like that clearly stood out. Next is For Honor. I played a little bit of the beta, and I never bought it, but I actually really like it. It reminds me a lot of Bushido Blade, and I kind of like the idea of a more slowed down, methodical type of fighting game, where that's what I think I like about PUBG a lot too, is it's not run and gun. There's consequences, and it's slower pace, so my dumb brain can keep up.
Beginning of this year, you beat Final Fantasy 15. But I don't know how long into the new year I played it. I'm trying to remember like when I beat it. I think it was like the end of January. So that was like all my January.
I feel like you beat it right when Persona came out. Or am I wrong?
No.
Okay.
Persona was
in
like
March. Yeah.
March 4th. I don't know what I did in between those times. I don't know. Danganronpa 2 maybe. Yeah, so Persona 5, speaking of which, was a big game of this year for sure. That took up a lot of my time. It took me like 2 months to beat, I think. That's a great game. I think at the end of the day, it wasn't as good for me as Persona 4 was. And I'm not sure why. I just think it got too long. It felt too drawn out. I was exhausted by the end of it, which to be honest, kind of happens to me in most JRPGs. Because they're all so long. They're all, by the end of it, you're like, all right, I'm really ready to play a different game. But overall, I thought it was really fun. There was a lot of great style and art to it, and it was a good time.
That's the best part. The art, the style, the music. Eventually, I was kind of like,
I'm done with this.
I'm done. I think 4, I don't know if it was just a set and setting type thing, but I definitely was more emotionally affected by 4. Like, it stuck with me more. I still love this game, but I think the characters are kind of weak in this one.
I think some were. Whereas Persona 4, it felt like every character was pretty strong.
Yeah. Sonic Forces. I played Sonic Forces because I needed to know.
You needed to know what?
If
what a new Sonic game's like?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not like egregiously bad. Basically, here's the deal. I just want a Chow Garden game. Mm-hmm. And I was sort of somewhat hoping that for some reason this would have a Chow Garden in it.
You would have known by now.
I know that, but I still went into it with somewhat high hopes that there'd be a Chow Garden in it. I'm not sure why, like, Do you like the Chow Garden?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
You
three of
don't
my
even know what my past with the Chow Garden was like. I mean, it became an obsession for us.
What did you play? The GameCube one, the
Correct.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yes, and me and my neighbor became extremely obsessed with all the special chows. Like, we would Google them, be like, well, I want an Amy chow. I don't think that was an actual thing. But we seem to think that there are many special chows that we could get by feeding our chows, like, all of bunnies, only bunnies, and then they would become the Sonic chow. I think that is actually true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was just...
I say yeah as if I know, but I don't. But
You didn't
I
know
it,
about the special chows and you love the
No.
Chow Garden?
I know
Oh
about
my
Special
God.
Chow. I'm just saying I don't know them.
Oh,
Mario Odyssey. That was a great game.
that was a great game.
It's a very good... I'm still going to go back and play more. And
Mm-hmm.
I probably will play more Zelda, too, eventually.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back to Zelda. Every time I see people playing Zelda, I'm like, man, I miss Zelda.
Yeah. Odyssey
game.
was cool. I feel like a lot of people say the same things that I'm going to say about it. So I don't really need to say them. Anybody who's in the video game sphere...
You don't think your opinion is just as valued?
Oh, I mean, it's just the same opinion, so no one really cares.
Okay, so another game I played was Miitopia. That was pretty fun. I downloaded the demo for Miitopia, and I was like, you know what? This is a game I could put some useless hours into. It's not incredibly difficult, but it's just like fun in a diverting, kind of cutesy way. I liked Tomodachi Life, and it really reminded me of that with more gameplay aspects. So yeah, it was fun. I liked the classes, how you could like unlock new classes like cat and vampire
Cat
and
class?
flower. There was a cat class.
Did you use my me?
No, I didn't. I think I used Toon Link, my Toon Link me. You were warrior.
I couldn't have been cat class?
I wanted to make you that, but I hadn't unlocked at the beginning, and you were one of my first like dudes.
Okay. I didn't play it, but that seemed like a very good while you're doing something else type game. Like
Yeah, it's a good just chillax and it's auto battle, which I know you like.
chillaxin.
Yeah, relaxing and chilling.
Oh, okay.
Let me define chillax for you.
For me, one of those types of games, I have For Honor on this list twice, and it didn't even affect me that much.
Yo, For Honor, get it.
For me, a game that was sort of like that was Fortnite.
I thought you
where-
were gonna say Slime Rancher.
I'm not there yet. Can we? That's one of my favorite games of this entire year. I wanted to give it its own space. Well, it's fine. We're gonna talk about Slime Rancher now. That game's awesome, and everybody should go play it. It reminds me, not just because of the title, a little bit of Monster Rancher, and I love Monster Rancher. That's there's a special place in my heart. I wanted a cooler sounding thing to say.
I was like, you know how that
holds
ends,
a special
right?
place in my heart, or like, but I wanted to be like, there's a medal on my shelf for that game. I don't.
God.
Anyway, Fortnite I played
Delete
while
this podcast.
Fortnite I would play while like something was on TV or something, and I just it's kind of mindless. Not the battle royale mode. I didn't play that. I actually had stopped playing by the time that came out. Not stopped playing in a bad way. I don't know. I moved on.
I played also Night in the Woods.
Ooh.
That was really fun. I kind of bought that on a whim. I saw there was a little bit more talk about it, so I got it. And on the PlayStation, I played it, and it was really fun. It was just like a nice sort of visual novel-like game where there's no combat. The gameplay is there's a lot of platforming if you want to, reach certain characters to talk to, but you're sort of building relationships with the animals in your town. You are a cat girl. And I really liked it. It had a lot of relatable dialogue, relatable stories with the characters, and I think anyone would enjoy it, really. It's just like it's a good game.
Is it short?
It's pretty short. Yeah, they recently added on some plot lines and some arcs to the game. I think it's a free update if you own the game already. So I might be doing that and doing another playthrough soon. But it has a nice little story with some suspense. But yeah, it didn't take me too long. Probably about 15 hours, I want to say. Maybe less than that.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
That's right.
Did you like it?
I did like it. I mean, I already played it. I had it on the Wii U. I had the Mario Kart 8, and I bought all the DLC, so it's like buying the same game again. But
That's my biggest gripe with it, and I didn't even play it on the other one, but there was nothing to do. It was very fun to have, and then like
except
pull it
play
out.
the game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you do, like, in this day and age, most games need progression to...
If you care about
Not
the
everything.
trophies and stars, I mean, which I do, I
That's
want to
true.
have all the stars on each course.
And at least you get to unlock the vehicle parts, but I don't know, having all the tracks right away was like, oh, okay. Well, here we go. I guess maybe I felt a little slightly overwhelmed.
For some, that's definitely a plus, but that makes sense why you wouldn't think it was.
Yeah.
Because if a lot of people were like me and they had already
Yeah.
gone through all that, and they're like, they just want to play it with friends or play it with family.
I wonder if there was a discussion like before they released it how to do that because yeah, but if they've never played it before, there's nothing for them to do. Or yeah, but if they've played it before, they don't want to do it again.
Right. I also played Nier. Oh, yeah. I keep
Oh.
forgetting about Nier because it didn't really hit with me the way it seems to have hit with everybody else as far as thinking it's like one of the best games I've ever played. It was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was a great game. I think the narrative, the way it, laid out the story was super interesting and unique. I thought the characters were really cool and the world was great. I don't know. It didn't strike the same emotional chord with me as it did everybody else. Everyone's talking about it very, emotionally intense about it, which is fine. I think it's a great game for that. It was good. It didn't hit with me in that same way.
I played, and one of my favorite games of the year, but not enough for me to like sing praises out about it all the time, is Yakuza 0. Whereas it's sort of the near thing with you, where a lot of people really, really loved this game, and then I played it, and it was like, no, this is fine, this is good. And I think what it was for me was I had played all the other ones, and I sort
All
of
of
feel
them?
like 3, 4, 5, and Dead Souls. And I didn't do any super research into this or not, but a lot of the people who really love Zero, I don't think played any of these games before. And while this game was really cool still, the story was awesome. It's the characters I like. Did a lot of funny stuff. The world is pretty much the same. The map is the same. Like, it's the same city, which is it's part of the series' thing. But it was just kind of like more of the same a little bit. Like, not completely. And there's little changes they made that make it even better, but again, it's like Nier, where it wasn't bad. It was not bad in any way, but it wasn't like, holy crap, I've never experienced anything like this,
One of the older games I played a lot this year was Story of Seasons Trio of Towns, which is on the 3DS, and it's basically, where the Harvest Moon games were given over to the developers, which is Marvelous, instead of Natsume, who keeps the name but not the game. It's very confusing for people. Very confusing for me. So the Story of Seasons are like basically the Harvest Moon games now. And this one's the latest one that it actually came out last year. And yeah, it's super addicting. I love Harvest Moon games in general, so it's no surprise that I liked it so much, but this one especially kept my attention for a lot longer than Harvest Moon games usually will. Usually I only get like a year in game time. And then I'm like, all right, that's enough. I get married and I'm done. But this one, yeah, I was just really into it. They had a lot of cool new features, a lot of stuff that you kept progressing in that felt like, you had a long way to go. Whereas the other ones, you kind of finished up pretty quickly developing the town or whatever it was. So that was a great game to have on my 3DS as like a side game when I was playing other things.
Phantom Dust. They re-released my favorite game of all time, and it kind of didn't really set the world.
Play it.
What are you talking about? I played a lot of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no one else did. So it's not like there was any hype or anything. I love that now I can play that game on modern systems. It's a PC game now. It's a PC game now, so I'll be able to play that forever into eternity, whereas before I needed to pull out an original Xbox, hook that all up, hope that the disc still worked. And then the other one, well, you know what I wanted to mention really quick? Mm-hmm. That's You, the PlayStation
Ew, that game was bad.
The attempt at making a Jackbox game. After how much fun we had with Jackbox at the holidays, to then remember That's You on PlayStation, it's like, man, what a bummer.
It's too bad because I think it could have been something fun. I like the game itself. It's just the execution was so off. The aesthetic was really cool. There was a lot of like artwork put into that game, but it just took way too long in between the game parts of it, and that kind of really made it fall flat. Also, the guy talking over it, super unfunny. Just not
Cookie Masterson.
Not him, but not anyone interesting or saying anything of worth. You're just like, shut up.
And making people have to download your special app.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
That sucks because we even at the holiday when we said all you have to do is go here, they're like, oh, you don't have to download an app.
Yeah, like,
and
no.
So it was like that's how you have to do it. If you want to convince people to try this, do not make them download anything.
It was so funny. Everyone, my family, like they don't play games, and they're all just like, how do you get this? We want to play this at someone else's house. I'm like, you're gonna have to like buy one of these Switches, or it's on the PC and the PS4, but they thought it was some sort of internet game, I guess.
Yeah, I think they thought you could just go to jackbox.tv and it somehow magically appears on your TV.
I don't.
Whatever. Well, that's funny. And then the last one for what we were playing, because we're both currently playing it right now, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
That's right.
Do you like it so far?
I do. I really like it. I think that it has some issues for sure. I mean, I don't really have issues with the story or the characters. I understand the character design ain't great sometimes, but I think it's really interesting that, especially with the blades, which are your weapons and also your party members, basically, are all drawn by different artists. And so you have like different styles of characters, and that's really cool. But yeah, I think my biggest gripes with it are combat. I like the combat is really fun, but it takes a really long time. Even just like little enemies around the map will take like, I swear to God, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes. You're like, Jesus Christ, been doing this forever.
I think there's some quality of life stuff that they could improve. I would love to know what level of wind mastery and leaping I have, like just quickly without having to go calculate it myself.
Like the field skills.
And like switching items or switching blades or like just
little convenience things.
Yeah, and it's literally not game breaking. I'll still do it. It's just like would have been nice.
Right, the map is an issue for a lot of people. Yeah. It doesn't really just give you. It's hard to navigate. I mean, the world is amazing and huge and beautiful, but it's just like, where do I go? I'd never know. I never really know.
Awesome.
Fun.
Sounds like a great year in video games. If you ask me, one of the best years in video games in a long time.
I agree.
Do you have anything, before we go, real quick, that's on your backlog that you're excited to get to, you just haven't found the time for yet? Because we've both been playing all these along.
Of games that came out this year.
The games that came out this year, specifically.
Yes. Horizon Zero Dawn's probably my biggest one.
Same. That
game came out, and it was just at a time where... Was it during Persona?
That was Persona and something else, probably Yakuza.
Mm-hmm. And it was just during... It was a bad time, and it has been a bad time for a while for that game. It's just too bad. But I'm definitely going to buy it soon because it looks really amazing.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, Nidhogg 2, I'd like to get.
Oh, yeah.
I really like the first one. I want to play some of that. Divinity Original Sin 2. I knew nothing about that first one. Like, I had seen the name, but I never looked into it. I didn't know what it was. But... now with this whole co-op podcast thing going on, and Assassin's Creed Origins, I'd like to play that.
That looks good.
That looks cool.
I also have Dream Daddy Simulator because I like visual novels and I've heard good things.
That seems awesome. I want to play that.
Battle Chef Brigade looks really fun.
Yeah.
I want to try that out. And What Remains of Edith Finch because I played that demo. Remember? We went to Tribeca Games. Obviously, I tried the VR demo of that, which was really cool, but I do not have room or money for a VR, but I'm interested in, downloading out my PC and trying that out, because I heard it's like a shorter, totally consumable, quick
maybe we can do
adventure.
Like a Let's Play of it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Lots of games that I want to play next year. I mean, Xenoblade's going to take me pretty far into the year. Ni no Kunai 2 comes out. It was pushed back. It was supposed to be in January. It was pushed back to March, which, annoyed me at first, but whatever. I have so much to do. It's probably totally fine.
Yo, Sea of Thieves.
Oh, that's right.
That's probably my most hypest get hype game of the year.
Mm-hmm. For next year.
Game of the year for next year.
What other games are coming out next year?
Wait, what about 1-2 Switch? Do you want to play that?
No.
I want to play that kind of.
Only if it's $10. That game is not worth the money.
I don't want to spend $60 or whatever they were charging, but I do kind of want to play it.
I would try it out, but
that seems like that could be a fun play with people who don't play games thing, but only like one time.
Would it? I feel like they'd be hella confused. Even someone who plays games is confused.
I don't know.
Like I said, only if it's literally given to me for free or $10. That game looks not worth any money almost at all.
Well, I didn't mean to give 1-2 Switch the main event slot of this podcast.
Was that the main event slot?
I mean, it's the last thing. So, let's talk about something cooler. How about I can't think of any other games we didn't talk about.
That's all right. How about Undertale Collector's Edition?
Oh yeah, we have that. We're gonna play that.
Yeah, looking forward to that next year. We're definitely gonna do a video of Craig playing. Craig has not played Undertale. I have beaten it and I love it. It's one of my favorite games, so we're gonna do a little let's play of that for sure.
Sweet.
Should be fun.
Well, hey, thanks for listening to this episode of Saves Together.
Look forward to more.
Episode 0.5. You can find us on Twitter
That's true.
What's our thing?
Saves together.
Awesome. You can find us on Facebook.
Saves together.
You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, other podcast things maybe.
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. There'll be links
There'll be
whatever.
links. You check it out.
We got a YouTube channel.
That's true, we do.
What's that?
There might not be anything up on it when you listen to this, but it saves together.
Cool.
Yes.
Well,
Keep it sleazy.
Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Find us. Interact with us. So thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you. Keep it sexy.